All right, so we've got this information from TrueView Windows and Glass, and it's about something I think a lot of homeowners run into, dealing with window problems. You kind of just assume, oh, I got to replace the whole thing, which can be, a pretty big expense, but it sounds like there might be some more affordable ways to deal with this. So let's dive into that a little.
Yeah. What's interesting is a lot of times you don't need to replace the whole window. If the frame itself is good and solid, there are things you can do to fix just the problem parts. Save yourself a bunch of money.
Okay, so like what kind of problems are we talking about? What comes to mind for me is those double paned windows. When they get all fogged up inside, you think, oh, I got to replace the whole window, right?
Well, not always, no. TrueView, they point this out. A lot of times it's just the seal on the glass unit. Moisture gets trapped between the panes. It looks all cloudy. But you can actually just replace that glass unit itself. It's called reglazing. Way cheaper than a whole new window. And it fixes the view, obviously. But also you get your energy efficiency back, too. Because that seal is what keeps the heat or cold from getting through.
So you're saying instead of spending, what, maybe $1,000 on a new window, you could be looking at, what, a couple hundred for a new glass unit?
Yeah, potentially even less, depending on the size and type of window.
That's a huge difference for sure. And it makes sense, right? Like if your phone screen cracks, you don't necessarily need a whole new phone.
Exactly.
Okay, so what about like actually broken glass?
Yeah,
That's got to be a full replacement, right?
not always. If the frame itself isn't damaged, a lot of times you can replace just the broken pane. Much more affordable. No need for the whole frame, the labor for installing it, all that.
Man, this is sounding better and better for my wallet already. So, okay, let's say you've got one of those sliding glass doors and it's gotten all stiff and hard to slide. You think, oh, great, got to get a whole new door.
Yeah, but a lot of times that's just a problem with the rollers or the track. They get worn out. TrueView says you can just fix or replace those parts, and the door will work like new. Way cheaper than a whole new door. It's all about finding the source of the problem.
That's a good point. Okay, so security. What if, like, a window lock breaks? Do you need a whole new window to feel safe again?
You might not. A lot of times you can just fix or replace the broken lock. Of course, if you wanted a whole new super high-tech lock system, that's different. But if it's just the lock itself, that's a simple, affordable fix for you.
Makes sense. So basically, we're seeing a pattern here. Instead of assuming you need to replace the whole window, it's worth checking if there's a smaller, cheaper fix first.
Exactly.
Okay, so what if it's not the glass, it's not the lock, it's just the window itself is janky, like those old double-hung windows that get all stiff and hard to open?
Yeah, that's usually a problem with the balances or the slides. Those parts wear out over time. TrueView says you can replace those and the window will work smoothly again. No need to replace the whole window.
So it seems like TrueView's whole thing is, hey, before you go spending a ton of money on new windows, let's see if we can fix what you already have.
Exactly. That's their specialty, finding those affordable solutions.
Mhm.
They have their own in-house employees too, not subcontractors, which I think is a good sign. And they operate in Phoenix, Tucson, and Denver. Plus, they have a connection to Palo Verde Glass and Screen in Tucson. So they've been around for a while, it seems.
So they're basically saying, hey, don't panic. We can probably help you out without breaking the bank.
Right. They offer free quotes too, so you can see what your options are.
Hmm.
No obligation.
So what we're learning today is if you've got a window problem, don't just assume you need to replace the whole thing. Could be a much simpler, cheaper solution out there.
Absolutely. Knowledge is power.
So folks, if you're in Phoenix, Tucson, Denver, and you're having some window issues, maybe give TrueView a call. Get that free quote. See what they can do for you. Could save you a lot of money.
Couldn't hurt.
So here's something to think about. What window problem have you been putting off? Maybe you thought a full replacement was your only option, but now, there might be a simpler, more affordable fix. Thanks for diving deep with us today.